pump that in heaven. Pump quick. Pump that in heaven. Pump quick. Pump that in heaven. And we are gonna go. It's go time, everybody. It is so go time. Welcome everybody to All Things Fantasy Grounds talk show. It is Sunday night at 6 p.m. my time, which is Pacific time. We've got plenty of gentlemen here. I'm going to switch my screen so everybody can see what we see. So you'll see all the guys here. Some are on camera, some are not. But let me first welcome my co-host, Layroon. How's it going, Layroon?
I'm doing pretty good. Glad to be here. Get to learn a little bit more about your initial players that you've had for a couple years and some new ones. And I just want to say thanks for everyone for showing up. And in the college, I've just been teaching, trying to get everything squared away because I'm actually going to be on vacation for, well, not vacation, a break for a month because I got to move. So just kind of a heads up for the community.
All right.
And give it away to you guys.
So these are most of the guys that I've been playing on the internet with Fantasy Grounds for 2 years. And I'm just going to let them introduce themselves. I'll call their names out. They can introduce themselves. And then after that, we're just going to get into a conversation. And we are also going to be giving away Mucho prizes, which I will discuss after these guys intro themselves. So FSH Schmo, let's start with you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Chris, also known as FSH Schmo. Obviously, you can find me on Twitch at FSH Schmo. And I've been running Fantasy Grounds. Do we want to leave that for a question, or should I just go ahead and
yeah, just a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into all that after we intro.
Yeah, I've been I started out playing D&D with 5th edition. I played like 5 or 6 games of 4th edition. It was horrible. Sorry if that offends anybody. And I play various other games, Shadow of the Demon Lord, Satanic Panic, all that kind of stuff.
Cool. Lazy Stooner, how about you?
Lazy Stooner, you can find me on Twitch. I've only been playing D&D for like 3 years total, and basically online is my entire life of D&D so far.
All right, cool. Joe Numbers.
Yeah, Joe 813210, aka Joe Numbers. Played with Rob a while now. Came over from another streamer, still pretty connected with him. And my first D&D is 5e, and I don't have it. I'm come from a pretty small town, so not a whole lot of individuals to play with in person, face to face. So I gravitated online, found these guys.
Excellent. Urash54. Oh, can't hear you.
Oh,
there we go.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Just wanted to say I played in Denver Dragons a couple times, and I know Joe, Tall Joe, and Joe Numbers has been in that too, as well as Rob. So looking forward to this evening.
All right. Another person that was at Denver and Dragons was McClancy 10006. It's actually M Clancy 10006, but I've been calling him McClancy for 2 years. So, Mark, what about you?
So I'm Mark. I started playing with Online Quester and Rob at the beginning of 2017, and prior to 2017, the last time I played Dungeons & Dragons was 1986. So I took a few years in games.
Nice. And Mark is having sound issues, so we'll do the best we can. We'll ask him to repeat something if we need to. But last and certainly not least is Tall Joe.
I'm Tall Joe, also known as Joe, but usually Tall Joe. I think Rob might have been my actual first real D&D. I've played a bunch of independent RPGs like Apocalypse World and Dungeon Crawl Classics, but I think Salvage Encounters was my first true D&D experience.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's me. I was also
cool.
at Denver and Dragons. I made up the name.
You might have done that. If I did, I wouldn't remember anyway, so you could totally steal it from me. Yes, and Denver and Dragons, for those of you that don't know what they're talking about, is we have had 2 in real life meetings in Denver, just happens to be, and Gwydion, who isn't here tonight, couldn't be here tonight, but there's a 5% chance he might pop on sometime during the show, but I'm going to say 5 or -5.
And we all got together in Denver a couple of times, once last November and once in February. And we played Fantasy Grounds D&D for like a weekend straight. It was crazy. It was fun. And we did that twice, and we're hoping to do it again. So before we get into any of our discussions about how we met each other or whatever questions we might have from Leyrun, I'm going to pop over here real quick to the prizes page. And here's what we're giving away tonight, everybody. So Schmo has decided he's going to give away... Schmo is the only person giving away something that isn't a Fantasy Grounds module, but he's going to give away a PDF of the Shadow of the Demon Lord's Player's Guide and a PDF of a personal adventure that he wrote for Shadows of the Demon Lord. Joe Numbers is giving away a Fantasy Grounds module of a personal bestiary that he did that has 700 monsters in it. And coupled with that as a bundle is an adventure that he wrote called The Ruins of Coral Gesh. Is that right, Joe?
Yeah, I'm going to correct you there. I stole it. It's not. I wrote it.
Oh, you stole it. Oh, it's from Dragon Magazine. Okay, gotcha.
Correct.
And he's gonna bundle those together because the monsters that are used in this adventure all come out of his bestiary, or some of them do, so they're linked. And then Lazy Sooner is giving away a Fantasy Grounds Ultimate license. Like what? And then McClancy is giving away a Fantasy Grounds Ultimate license. Like what? And another gift aside from that, Fantasy Grounds Monsters. No. Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. Tall Joe is giving away a rather unusual but very valuable gift, which is 1 hour of software consulting. So before we continue, Joe, do you want to just give a real brief description of what 1 hour of software consulting means?
Yeah, so if you are a software engineer or aspiring to be one, just take an hour of my time, help you through any software development problems you're having, any questions you have, stuff like that. So happy to help out in any way. Software consulting or software development consulting is my day job. So that's readily available for me to hand out.
All right.
Nice.
So that sounds awesome, and I don't even know you can put a price on that. You probably can. And then Urash54 is giving away an FG standard license, but packaged with that, the player's handbook on Fantasy Grounds. So that's a double up. Leyrun is giving away a Fantasy Grounds module of Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. And then my prize is going to be everything I've made on the DM's Guild. Now, let me be clear. That's a lot of stuff, but it doesn't include my collaborations with other authors. So it's only the things I've done, which I figured it's close to $125 in value. So one person's going to get all that in one shot. And we're going to have to probably give away a prize every 10 minutes. So why not start now? And we'll give away the first thing on the list here. So I want to try to help people to remember how to do this. So I think what I'm going to do is if you win a prize, I didn't really think this through, but I want to make it so that everybody can win, or as many people as possible can win. So if you win a prize, I would ask you not to then enter the next one again. Does that make sense, you guys? Should we do that, or should we just let everybody have a chance to win?
Don't be a dick rule.
Yeah,
Right.
don't be a dick rule. Okay, so
It's a good rule.
the first one, it's a good rule. The first one we're going to do is going to be, I'm just going to start with the first one on the list here. And we're going to give away FSH Schmo's Shadow of the Demon Lord's Player's Guide. Now remember, guys, this is PDF form. This is not a Fantasy Grounds module. But Shadows of the Demon Lord is vastly becoming very popular. And so if I can only remember how to work my crap, here we go. Keyword raffle, giving away this. Let's make the keyword SOTDL. And I'm going to start the raffle. We'll put a 5-minute timer on it, and we're going to try to give away a prize every 10 minutes. So there we go. If you guys want to type in the keyword !SOTDL, then you'll be entered to win the drawing. And as soon as I see even one person do that, here, let me do it. Maybe there we go. Somebody's in, so it's working. All right, now back to the video. So did Mark drop? Oh no, he's back. Okay. So, Leroon, did you want to ask a question to start with, or how should we go?
Yeah, before I ask, I just want to mention that one of the students from last week is adding on whatever he won from you last week, Rob, so we can bundle that in with mine.
Oh, okay.
So-
What is that?
Lou Cipher won I think it's one of your packages, so whatever that was, we can give that out too.
Oh, so that's the, I think that was the everything package.
Coding or everything, yeah. Okay,
Okay,
guys, so I wanted to just ask you guys as a whole, or we can do this in the same order we did when Rob announced, is how did you guys discover Fantasy Grounds? So we'll start with Schmo and just go down the list.
I bought Fantasy Grounds back before 5th edition was out, and I want to say before I even started the D&D Next playtest, as a way to play with other people online. 4th edition, it was clunky, it was horrible. If you've ever seen interviews with Doug, he talks about the early days. So when 5th edition came out, I started on Roll20. It was horrible. So I started building out the PHP in Fantasy Grounds, and then they ended up getting the license right as I was finishing my personal copy. Moved over to Fantasy Grounds. Yeah, moved over to Fantasy Grounds. The players loved it. They loved the ease of it, the automation, the mechanics.
614.
And I have never looked back.
All right. So how about you, Tall?
I found it through Rob's channel, actually. So playing Salvage Encounters was the first time that I encountered Fantasy Grounds.
Okay. And Joe Numbers?
Yeah, mine's a while ago. I was a Twitch troller, so I went on Twitch and started getting into Fantasy Grounds. I started watching D&D shows. I actually found Digital Dave, and following his channel for quite some time. Played in a couple of his games, but that's back when he was actually doing Roll20, and started talking to him about this Fantasy Grounds program, and hopefully turned him onto it. Turns out he ended up liking it a little bit, but that's really where I got into it. Was just wanted to reach out and wanted to start getting into playing the game. Didn't have people local to play with, so it was all Twitch and online.
Right on. How about you, Lazy?
Mine's kind of the same. I didn't even know Dungeons and Dragons was streamed, and I got on Twitch and a giveaway one. Sorry, I cut out there for a second. And it was Digital Dave's giveaway stream for Christmas. I was like, well, this isn't fucking Dungeons and Dragons. And then I won the PHP. And I didn't know what the hell I won it for, so I had to go look it up. And Rob was streaming Fantasy Grounds, and that was the beginning of the end for me.
How about you, Mark? You there?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. How did you discover Fantasy Grounds?
I was looking for a group face-to-face. I had been working in IT. I just had a crazy business thing where I sold a company I was running, had some free time, and said, I'd love to get back and play. And so I was Google searching, and I ran across GeoQuester on the Fantasy Grounds website, and he's hosting a game in FG Days, and I joined that. And as others have said, it's been over since then.
And Rob, what about you?
I had a liver transplant in 2014, and I was convalescing at home. I needed something to do to occupy my time, and in late 2015, I found Fantasy Grounds online, and I believe it was because I saw either Digital Dave's stream or something else that caught my eye, and I think I was researching on Google, like, how do you play Dungeons & Dragons online? And so I had been a user of Roll20 for about a half of a session because my friend told me about it, and we had a whole game set up with a guy that was going to DM us in Germany, and then it got postponed, and then it got pushed back again, and then it got canceled. So I knew what Roll20 was, but I never used it. And then when I looked at it, I thought, oh, that seems kind of cool. But then I found Fantasy Grounds, and it was over. And then flash forward to now, I work for the company, and I have the top 5 spots on the DM's Guild for virtual tabletop software on DM's Guild, and all hell broke loose. And I'm also one of the developers there's about 70 developers for Fantasy Grounds. And then about 9 months ago, when was it that you and I met, Leroon?
Yeah, I would say about 9 months ago, maybe.
Yeah, and then you started Fantasy Grounds College, and I'm a huge champion of that effort because basically I like it because of what it does basically, but a personal reason that I like it is you train players how to play, and so when they come to my game, they're not fucking up. So that's what I like about it. And let's press pause. I think that's everybody, right? You got everyone to answer that
Nope,
question?
you're Rosh.
Oh,
Need you,
Arash,
Rosh.
okay.
Yeah. I stumbled across Schmo's charity game one day. He was playing a 12-hour marathon, and I was watching that, and I go, what is this? And then I moved over to Rob's channel and started playing like a madman.
Yes, you did.
All right.
All right, let's give away a prize, and right when I do, I'm going to jump into the next one because I think we're behind schedule. So let me do it. I'll go right over here to this, and everybody can see when I draw the name, it's all legit. There's no favorites. All right, so this is for Shadows of the Demon Lords Player's Guide PDF from FSH Schmo. Try and say that 10 times fast. The winner is, okay, Sean 010899. First thing we have to do is when you see a red thumbs down here, what that means is Sean is not a follower. So first things first. Boo! You are not a follower. But, Sean, you still do win. So you need to get me your email so that I can have FSH Schmo get that prize to you. And I will put my Discord link in the chat. So if you're not on my Discord, go ahead and click that link and get on my Discord and just PM me anytime during the show and make sure you give me your email. And also, please state, even though I'm going to try and copy this, Sean 010899, I'm going to try to keep records this time because we're giving away a lot of stuff. So I'm going to put down 010899 for winning that prize. And then we'll jump into the next prize. And let's shift around. Let's see. I'm going to do a thing where I mark what we've given away. So there we go. So now let's shift over.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just real quick, make sure the email that they send you is one that they've registered on DriveThruRPG, if they already have an account.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that. So yeah, Sean 010899. Make sure that is your email that you use for DriveThruRPG. All right, let's give away a license. So the next prize is going to be courtesy of Lazy Stooner. It is going to be the ultimate license.
Woo!
And I'm going to reset. How do you reset? Close, reset. There we go. Yeah, I drew a winner, you stupid. Okay. Ultimate, let's see. Fantasy Grounds Ultimate License. Half the show is going to be just typing in prize shit. And this will be courtesy of Lazy Stooner, who's giving away an Ultimate License. This is not the standard license. This is the Ultimate License. So that'll be keyword !FG. Go ahead and type it in. This time I will start the timer and keep it on 5 minutes. And hey Siri, set timer for 4 minutes and 57 seconds. And then she's going to let me so that I can go to my other screen and I won't have to look back.
Nice.
All right. So, Labron, did you have another question for us?
Sure do. The next question would be, how did you guys end up hooking up with Rob on the streams or in the Denver and Dragons? I'm not sure which came first.
Well, the streams were definitely first.
Streams,
and then,
probably, yeah.
yeah, from that, we built a group of people. Basically, Gwydion got a hold of me and said, hey, I have the opportunity to get a venue. And, I mean, these guys can tell you. I'll let them tell you their perspective. But these venues that we went to, he belongs to, like, a club where you can rent, like, ski lodges and all this other crazy shit. So we go there. Everybody has their own bedroom. There's a giant oak table. It's about 10 feet long in the middle of the kitchen. And we all set up our computers. And there wasn't a scratch of space left on the table when we set it up. But that group was built out of people that I and he had played with that we felt could be trusted and wouldn't be axe murderers. And it turned out we were right. None of them were axe murderers. And we all showed up for a weekend. We did this twice. And we invited Stooner. Stooner still is a part of it, but he had to get his passport from Canada, which he never was able to do in time to go to any of these. So hopefully for the future. And then all of the people here, except Chris, have done it. Chris was invited, but he couldn't do it. And then also Zelikar and am I missing anybody that was there that isn't here now? Oh, well, Gwydion. So I'll let these guys tell you how they came about it.
Okay. Shmo?
So I met Rob one evening in a seedy rest stop bathroom. No,
Did you say bathrobe or bathroom?
bathroom.
Oh, okay.
I'm not actually Rob. I don't even remember how we met. I want to say you were hanging out in my stream for a while.
Yeah, I was hanging out in your stream, and I think I was like, "What's with the wife beater? I love it. Please don't ever stop." And you were playing. I think you might have been the first person I played with in the because you and I ended up teaming up in the AL online, and I was on the in that whole fucking fiasco. I got a whole story about that. We'll tell that. I've already told it. But I think that's how you and I met and sort of came to know each other, and then we just sort of became friends and bounced back and forth between our games and stuff, and it just continued from there.
Yeah, I think that's right. Back in the official AL streaming team days, but yeah, we won't discuss that.
Who's next?
Stunner.
I met Rob by being a huge squatter in his stream. He was the only one that streamed like Fantasy Grounds, right? Everyone else streams Dungeons and Dragons. And I had won that PHB from Dave, and I didn't know what the fuck Fantasy Grounds was. So I came in, and now I haven't left, and I am the king of squatting.
He is.
How about you, Joe?
You're number one in his chat anymore. I am.
Yeah, and for those of you that are watching on a computer, this won't work on mobile or tablet, but if you're on the computer, you can scroll down and you can see the Stream Elements. What is that called? An app. It's not called an app. It's called an overlay.
The Stream Elements ship.
Yeah, and you can click on XP, and then you'll be able to see who's got the most XP in the channel. And I think McClancy has 250,000 or something. It's insane. And we used to have a game where chatters, people in the chat, could influence the game by buying XP, either critical hit, a fumble, advantage, inspiration, random monster, random trap, long rest, revivify, resurrection, all that stuff. And with the new Saturday Epic Monster Battles, people who watch that can use their XP during that game now, and perhaps other games in the future. I know the campaign that we start after Tomb of Annihilation, which will be Friday nights, which some of these guys will be in. You'll also be able to do it there. So anyway, that's how that happens. So yeah, Stunner's a Stunner, and this was not me. This was Leyrune. Stunner is part of what group, Leyrune?
That would be the Goons.
Yeah.
Along with Urash.
Yeah, he named that the Goons. Okay, that's the alarm. That means put pause on and let's give away another prize. Oh,
so we'll get
yeah.
So we'll get with Joe numbers people. Right after this.
So this is for this is Lazy Stuners giving away the Ultimate Fantasy Grounds license, and the winner on that is bam. Zeb Plays Games. So congrats to Zeb Plays Games, who is a follower.
Nice.
Zeb Plays Games. I'll put the Discord link in the chat again. If you are not a member of my Discord, first of all, how dare you?
Cheerbits. Cheerbits in the stream. Thanks for the
cheerbits. Cheerbits. Thanks, McClancy, for the cheerbits. Zeb, if you are not a member of my Discord, hop on Discord, PM me. And what we need to give to Stunner is PM me your Fantasy Grounds forum name, and if you don't have a Fantasy Grounds forum name, you need to go get that first, and then give us. And I will also make a note of Zeb Plays Games is the person that won this. So Zeb Plays Games. We will read it out, and it's past 20 after, so we're gonna go for another one right away. We're gonna try and keep up. Next one we're going to give away is, let's give away Leyrune's copy of
I love you, man.
Fantasy Grounds module, Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. Yeah, that's right. You heard it.
Yeah,
so
baby.
Hammer 2.
Let's go back and clear this out. We're going to say this is Morty's. Well, I'll type it in there in case anybody comes in the chat and doesn't know what the hell's going on. Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes.
Is that the keyword to join? Is you have to type Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes correctly?
God.
The keyword is Morty. We're going to do it. Okay, so start it. That's funny, Joe. Start the counter. Hey Siri, set timer for 5 minutes.
Okay, your timer is set for 5 minutes.
I didn't tell you to talk to me, you bitch. You shut up.
Oh,
All
we
right.
got a lady on the show.
Yeah. Okay, so we got the next thing going, and people are typing in Morty, and we'll continue with the storytelling. I forgot who didn't go.
Joe Numbers.
What's the story?
Yeah, what's the question?
We were asking how you met Rob or how you got involved with the stream, that sort of
Oh,
thing.
right, yeah. I was, as I said before, I was pretty good with Digital Dave and looking for other streamers that are on here and doing stuff. And Rob actually opened the door for anyone that wanted to could just jump on his game and DM the fucking thing, which was so completely badass. I had to get in on it. So got a chance to play. Rob's right up my alley in, like, I'm here to play. I don't need to teach you shit. You should already fucking know it. And that's exactly what I wanted. And, like, very particular. If you watch his games, he's not shy about it. You do shit right. You do it the right way. We all have fun. But it makes it smooth, makes it go along well. And that's right up my alley. So, actually, I think I told Rob this once. That first game I ever DM'd. So 5e's first D&D ever played, and Rob's one of his games was the first one I ever DM'd. So, definitely won't be forgetting that one.
Yeah, and I remember that, and I remember telling Joe after that game was over that I had no idea he'd never done it before. It was like he'd been doing it for 20 years. It was pretty awesome.
That's good. Quick study.
Yes.
Okay, Mark McClancy.
And I kind of started stalking GeoQuester, and that's how I screwed with players a lot in chat, and then I started playing salvage encounters, which became the 5. And then I guess I'm going to say I was an alternate for Denver and Dragons when some other people couldn't make it, which is fine by me. And so I asked my wife, hey, do you mind if I go to Denver and meet 8 guys I know on the internet to spend a weekend at a house in the mountains with them? I said, yeah, get the hell out. And did. It was awesome.
Nice. Yeah,
And it doesn't sound near as shady as that. I mean, this house in the mountains was a fucking mansion.
Along that lines, the Zelikar, we invited to come to the second one. Well, I think to the first one too, but she couldn't make it. And she actually lives in Denver, so it was for her. She didn't have to buy a plane ticket, and so she said, "Oh, you mean you want me to ask my husband if I can go to the, to the woods or whatever with 6 strange men?" And I said, yes, that is exactly what I want you to ask him. And she said, oh, okay, I will. And then she was able to show up. And then there's a whole story about on the way back to the airport, her car blew up, and it was a whole thing, and we had to go back, and we had to pick up. Oh, my God, it was a nightmare. But we did have a lot of fun.
All right, Tall Joe.
Yeah, I met Rob in a bar. He was a fighter. I was a cleric. There also was no, I'm kidding.
That's how it all starts. That's how it always starts.
Always starts. 4 adventures in a bar. So I was watching. I just got hooked on watching various Dungeons and Dragons and stuff on Twitch for a while, and I've been trying to get into a couple of real life Dungeons and Dragons games. I almost joined one, but it was an hour-and-a-half drive, and the DM sent me about 300 pages of backstory because it was a long-running campaign. And I was like, I'm not sure that I can make this work. Then I came across Rob's stream, and one of the things going on at the time was like, hey, salvage encounters, 5e pickup games, just show up and start playing D&D, roll up a character. And so I did. And I created the beloved character Vodos, the fish
I remember.
paladin. And then later after that created the much beloved character Burke motherfucking Perkins.
Burke
the
motherfucking
flying monk.
Perkins.
Motherfucker.
Let's hear their signal calls. Glub glub.
Yes. Burke motherfucking Perkins, of course, being the character that caused Rob to stop allowing flying characters.
Fuck flying, man. God damn it. Oh my god, we had so much fun. 5e pickup games, for those of you that don't know, 5e pickup games, as a couple of these guys have said, is where you could just show up and play. You didn't have to be pre-approved, nothing. You could just show up, make a character and play. And that we played about 120 sessions of that, and then it waned heavily in popularity for some reason. Right, it just took a nosedive, so I took it away. I'm gonna do the Disney model, which is put shit in moratorium, and then maybe it gets popular when you bring it back. So it will be back. Ooh, and that's the timer. Perfect timing. Let's give away Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. 17 people have entered. And the winner is... What? Oh, no, don't start new. I almost fucked up. Rammer 2. R-H-A-M-M-E-R 2. Rammer 2. Congratulations. I hope I'm saying that right.
He's
So
a new
Rammer
Prime
2.
sub I saw go by.
Nice.
And if you didn't win, just remember there's another one coming.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome.
So this was Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, courtesy of Leyrune. And what you need to do, Rammer, again, I'm going to put the Discord link in chat. Everyone should click on it. Go to Discord and PM me and tell me that you won Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes from Leyrune and give me your Fantasy Grounds forum name. That's what we need. So I'm going to go over here, put Rammer 2. It's Rammer 2. I better color coordinate these. No, we'll remember. I'll just move this down. Control X, just move it down. I'm going to move this one down. That. We'll handle it. We'll handle it. Okay, so let's mark that as red and put in another prize. Let's give away let's give away an hour of software consulting. What? You've got to be shitting me. So I'm going to say everybody can enter this. I'm going to say that because this is a special consulting.
Even me?
You can enter, Joe. But even if you guys, so the 3 people that have already won, I would say that you could enter this one too, because it's sort of a side thing. So we want to give everyone a chance to get that. So let me get a hold of myself here. This is going to be 1 hour software consulting. No, software, I better type it out because somebody might come in and go, what the hell is SWC? Software
1 hour
consulting.
soft, huh?
Yeah, that's right. I'll tell you that for free. Just come to my house. You'll be soft. With Joe. And then we will make it keyword Tall Joe. We'll start it. So it's keyword Tall Joe, everybody. Start the Hey Siri, set timer for 5 minutes. Don't give me any back talk.
Okay, your timer is set for 5 minutes.
All right, so back to the show.
I had something to say about the Salvage Encounters 5e pickup games.
Yes.
You may have saved it, but I got to DM the last session ever, and I got to destroy the base that we worked so hard to make.
Oh, you lucky bastard.
Yeah.
I missed that one.
Yeah, if it comes back, it might be in a different form, but the yes, and Stooner and Joe Numbers and Tall Joe were DMs. Did you DM Tall Joe?
I
At
did
Denver
Denver Dragons. I did the level 18 to 20.
Oh yeah, but I mean
Mastery.
in the 5e pickup games here. Let me
Not in
find out.
5e.
I
Zelicar
DM'd
was.
5e.
Yeah, the DMs that chose to DM were Stooner, Joe Numbers, Zelicar, and then Mark also did. They got to DM the game itself, and then I played. I got to be a player in it. And then if you actually, this is not private information. I'll put this link in the chat if anybody that's watching wants to check it out. Here's all the stats for all the games we did, and how many times people played, what their characters were, when they joined. And then you can also see the Battle Royale stuff we did, and then the other just store items won't mean anything to you really, but you can look at it. But yeah, that's not private information, so anybody that wants to come in and look at that, you can.
Hey, Urash, how did you find Rob?
So I was watching Schmo's channel, and I tried to sign up for a couple of his games, and you have to be a Nazi crypto cracker to get on an AL game. So when I went to their page to try to sign up, I'm like, what the hell is this? So I spotted Rob on Twitch, and then he was just starting up Salvage Encounters. I watched the first couple and jumped in the third one. So it was, and then one of the funnest things about playing in all those games was getting to test out his coding, because he was coming out with stuff constantly, and he'd give it to us to trial and make and help him find errors and that type of thing. And we all just had a blast doing that. It was a great time.
Nice.
Doing it on the fly, and we were beaking him to just make it so we could buy it, and we didn't even care if it was like a quarter finished.
That's right.
Yeah, these guys were the main guys that were. They're like, why don't we just fucking code them all? You're doing it anyway. Just do it all. And I have these guys to thank for sort of launching my. I mean, I was on the DMs Guild, but when I went on the DMs Guild, the first thing I made like all the classes, and I did it for myself. Like, if I'm gonna build a character, what like a barbarian's +2 strength and +1 wisdom or whatever. I made those, and I just started making little trinkety things, and then it started to blew up into a business. But my biggest success, obviously, with most people that play Fantasy Grounds, is the coding of the items on your actions tab, so you don't have to do it yourself. And these guys were the ones that goaded me into doing it. So congrats to them.
So it's another way to answer. How did you find Rob? I found him to be a dick, nice guy.
Oh, there we go.
He's a dick, nice guy. That's a quote in the chat. Which one is it?
Yeah, I also I've got a sadomasochistic fetish, and Rob fills that for me with his abuse that he gives all of us online. Awesome.
So I got to put all you guys on the spot right now. Rob, you too.
Okay.
Basically, since Rob's doing this new monster versus monster thing, would you guys do that on his stream as a group? So like a free-for-all, kind of like what you guys were doing, but instead of using a player, you'd use a monster of your choice.
Hell
Only
yeah.
Under one condition.
Yeah.
Only under one condition.
What's that?
Rob has to pick and choose our monster based on how he feels about us and what he thinks we should have.
Ah, I love it.
That
I
could be
fucking love it.
dangerous right there.
Yeah,
You guys
I
would
know.
have to. You guys have to come up with your own rules.
Stooner's
like,
gonna be
does
the
it have-
drunk monk.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying
So
to find
they'd
the
have to
quotes in
be-
here.
Cheers, ladies and gentlemen.
Probably like bipedal or so. I don't know. You guys can come up with your own rules, but no
Yeah,
flying.
I guess I'll answer that one because I'm actually going to go. I don't know about your own NPC kind of thing, but he's going to do a completely random one. I'm going to do it with him next week.
Sweet.
So the idea is that you just get thrown these monsters, and it helps to have DM'd and all that stuff. Where you got to kind of just roll with the punches, but you got to learn these. My favorite part of this is strategy. So I got to learn an NPC strategy in the matter of minutes to be able to compete against the all.
New battle royale format: monster versus monster.
Yeah, we can totally try it out. Oh, that's the timer. Already, this goes by so fast. Giving away a prize as soon as I can find it. It's called the prize thing. Here it is. I'm on the wrong page. So, for the, I think we only had 4 people in here because I think people might be scared of computer consulting. But the winner is
My consulting
Boffrin.
question was. Sorry.
Boffrin, he always wins.
Boffrin has won the consulting. So, Boffrin, just PM me your email so that I can have Joe get a hold of you. And congrats to Boffrin for winning the 1 hour of computer consulting. Let me go back here and put Boffrin in there. Boom. Boffrin. All right, let's go. Let's see. How many have we given away? That's 4. And it is 40 after. So, yeah, let's do another one. That might be more than 4. No, it's just 4, isn't it? Okay. Everybody calm down. Nobody panic. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to color this in red.
You're going PC on this now? Everyone calm down?
Everyone calm
I'm used
down.
to the old ROM. Everyone just calm the fuck down.
Everyone just fucking relax. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's go. I know what we should do next. Let's go with Urash's FG Standard license bundled with also the FG Player's Handbook.
Oh
So
yeah.
that'll
So
be
once
cool.
started, yeah.
Get shit
Nice.
started, people. So let me
So
go
I
over
got-
here.
I got my next question when you get that ready.
Okay, let me punch it in, and we're gonna make the keyword Urash for no fun reason, or for no for a fun reason, I should say. So the keyword will be Urash, and hey Siri, start a timer. Make it 5 minutes. Let's see if I fucked it up.
Okay, your
Oh my God, it worked. Fucking Siri. All right, go ahead, Leroon, with your question.
Okay, so going down the list, I want to ask you guys your most memorable moment in a stream, particularly Fantasy Grounds. It doesn't necessarily have to be. So if you can remember a particular funny or angry or anything that's interesting in this stream tonight, I'd like you guys to mention. If you don't have anything, that's fine. I'll go down the list, and you can just say pass or whatever you like. So let's start with Urash.
There's so many. One of the epic things was at Denver and Dragons and Tall Joe's game, where we were all, there's like 20 beholders around us. There was that mind flare, all kinds of stuff going on. We were all 19th level, and we're fighting this Tarrasque. And Rob's inside the Tarrasque. The Tarrasque swallowed Rob's player Chalk. And I'm outside trying to kill this thing. I'm a cleric, so I drop, I forget what it was, but we ended up taking him out. We had a wizard, Gwydion was a wizard, and Zell was like a ranger that was badass. So it was awesome. That was epic.
How about you, Tall?
Yeah, just DMing the huge 18th, 19th level adventure was a big, huge, memorable moment. It was my first time being a DM for Dungeons and Dragons. I'd done other stuff, but first time Dungeons and Dragons, first time ever playing or DMing anything high at that level. I think one of the memorable times I think sticks out to me was during one of the battle royales. My character had 1 hit point. There was heat metal on the armor, like dying the next turn. So just ceremoniously stepped off the edge of the platform and took 1 hit points to die and not come back. I was like, I'm going out my own way. Woo!
All right, what about you, Rob? What's one of your most favorable as a DM or a player in a stream? Doesn't have to necessarily be yours or Geo's or anything in particular, but
So many, like Urash said, but the one thing that's cool about having a bad memory is that I'll be able to go back and watch all my own YouTube videos. Like when I get old and infirm and I'm not playing anymore, and all I can do is push a button on a computer and
So you
sip
mean
out of
next
my
week?
straw. Yeah, next week, because I'm so fucking old. I'm gonna enjoy watching my stuff. But what does come to memory is a scream that happened on stream. And what happened was we were playing Battle Royale. Don't remember the players, don't remember which game it was. But I know that a player had gone unconscious and come back by rolling a death save of 20 twice already and was in the game and went unconscious again. And I said, as he was rolling his death save, I said, there's no fucking way you're going to get it. Oh! And everybody screamed because the guy rolled a third 20 and came back up. And he didn't win the game, but he was like second place. He lasted because he came back from unconscious. Because a bunch of people, I remember some attitudes at the beginning of when we started those games, which changed later, was, oh, they're unconscious, let me run away and just let them make their... And then they would come back and like kill the person that left them there. So it was...
That we all said fucking druids.
Yeah, but the scream that was... you have to go back and watch that. And I mean, all 5 or 6 people that were on the stream just all screamed like that. It was crazy. And so that's what sticks in my head. It might not have been the greatest moment ever, but that's what sticks in my head.
How about you, Mark?
So in Fantasy Grounds, I think it was one of Geo's game where literally like the very last round, the very last move, we killed the baddie and won the game in one of his Delvers games where the clock's running. And I was screaming at the computer. And it's a good thing we used push to talk because none of it, what I said, was appropriate for a stream. But I was cursing a madman. But we wound up winning at literally the last click.
Wow, that's awesome. How about you, Lazy Sooner?
I have 2. The one short and sweet, I played in Zelikar's own world. Like, she made this world up. And, like, the second time in, some guy did something stupid, and I was grumpy, so I screamed at him. And then he never came back, and I realized I'm an asshole. And then the other one is in one of Rob's salvage encounter games. I decided as a wild magic sorceress to dive into a pond of quicksand to try and strength save a person who is dead. And succeeded, by the way.
Yeah, you did. I do remember that. Oh my God.
What was the one where we hit we grappled the dragon in the air? You remember that one?
Oh yeah, Burke tried to dive bomb the dragon with a grapple.
Yeah, and I climbed another dragon. Like, I try and climb everything for some reason because my characters are all retarded.
All right, it's time to give away. We might not have got through everybody, but we'll come back to it. It's time to give away a standard license packaged with the Player's Handbook on Fantasy Grounds, courtesy of Urash 54, and the winner is boom, Red Lucidity. So congrats to Red Lucidity.
Woo.
I will mark that down. I will mark it as given away. I will mark it as Red Lucidity.
Urash is so excited. He's stuck in his O face.
Right?
And
He just, oh God, he's never going to live that one down for a while.
I'm going to give away, next, we're going to give away Joe Numbers Bundle. That doesn't sound right, but it's going to be fun.
No. That sounds exactly right.
Oh wait, his package. That's what you want.
Yeah, his package.
Uh-huh.
So Joe Numbers package is the and the keyword, of course, has to be package.
Package.
So we're going to give away, and it's not going to say it in the title, so let me just go over what it is again. This is 2 Fantasy Grounds modules. One of them is a bestiary that has 700 monsters in it. The other one is a Dragon Magazine adventure that he converted for 5th edition, and it's called The Ruins of Coral Gesh, and so you get both of those together. And
Rob, sorry, I'm going to screw this up for you, but I did throw them over to you, so you just got to PM Rob to get them, and he'll shoot them over to you somehow.
Right. So yeah, just if you win this, just PM me, and I'll say that at the end too. So let's get it started.
There's actually 3 different things in there. So
oh, there's 3. Okay. Well, so you get an extra thing that we don't even know about. There's some craziness in there that we don't even know. It's going to be amazing. Hey Siri, start timer for 5 minutes, and then we will get back to the other people that didn't answer that question.
Joe Numbers. It's on you, man.
One that I probably won't. It wasn't probably the most epic, but it was my first DM kill, and I enjoyed it a lot. It was in 5e pickups, and we were underground doing some shit, and these guys, everyone's all, let's just go kill everything. That's the mentality that's there, and they walked into a bit of a trap, and the dragon laid waste to a good number of them. One for sure.
All right.
You built a murder hobo trap, huh?
Well, it's too easy with you fuckers. Way too easy.
All right, Schmo, what about your most memorable?
It was way back in the days of Adventurers League streaming in season 3. Shackles of Blood. Spoiler alerts for anybody who hasn't played it. The party's been captured. They're in an arena. They're fighting a bunch of NPCs, and we had a kid in the party, or a kid in the that was in the party. Cameron was his name. Some people might remember him. But in that adventure, you could talk smack and get advantage, stuff like that on your rolls. Well, he gave this big long speech description how he was going to attack. He attacked. He critically fumbled and missed. The NPC went next, and it attacked. It critically hit him and killed him. And it was just freaking hilarious.
Nice.
Well, I have one moment because I haven't played very often. Rob got me on a stream on Geo's table, and I was playing with him, and I was trying to figure out how to use Fantasy Grounds. And here I am freaking teaching it, and he's like, "Yeah, you need to go to the goddamn college and learn something about Fantasy Grounds before you play." Right on the stream, I felt like a midget. I was like,
I was busting his balls all the way. I'm like, there's actually a Discord server called Fantasy Grounds College, and if you go over there, those guys will teach you how to play. But I think I don't know. I think you were just nervous about being on stream, or I don't know. I think it was.
Yeah, it was my first stream, and I had stage fright. And once we got past that, I said, "All right, no more of this shit." So, all right,
It was actually my 24-hour stream.
Yeah, it was. It was Geo's table, I think.
Yeah. That was my table, but I was running Geo's custom-made module just for that stream.
Oh, that's
I remember that.
All right, guys. So here's another question for you guys. How much time a week do you think you guys put into Fantasy Grounds as a whole? I guess a rough estimate. Okay. Let's go with Joe numbers.
I'd say average week would be somewhere between 4 and 10 hours.
Okay. Lazy?
Nowadays, it's like 3 hours. But if you would have talked to me, well, you did talk to me like 3-4 months ago, it used to be about 25 to 50 hours.
Okay. How about you, Mark?
Well, I said the Fifth Amendment, but I'm probably in the 4 to 10 hours a week.
Okay. Rob?
All things adjacent to Fantasy Grounds, including not just playing, but making, DM's Guild and doing my job for Smiteworks and whatever. 80.
Wow. Tall Joe?
Not so much anymore. I got one of those apps called a Girlfriend, and so that's taken a lot of my time lately. In the
Girlfriend
during the family app.
Yeah, so during time I was on 5e pickup games, probably about 4 to 6 hours a week, maybe a bit more sometimes. It depends on how many times per week I played in the game.
All right. How about you, Urash?
I play about 6 hours a week on Wednesdays and Fridays, and then occasionally in Shadows of the Demon Lords on Saturdays, so maybe 3 more hours there. And then I usually spend a couple hours just tinkering around in there, looking at modules and figuring out how to build characters.
I think I'm up to about 20 at least.
20? That's it?
Well, I mean, that's a conservative number. Because I have
all of you are worthless and weak. Now drop and give me 20.
Did we miss anybody?
Yeah. It depends if and I see that we're coming down here on a series fixing to interrupt me, so I'm gonna get quick. If I'm converting stuff, 12 to 20. If I'm just playing 3 to 4.
All right, cool.
All right. Chris has started his own timer to keep track of it. All right, let's give away the prize. Let's give away Joe's package. I'm sure he's excited.
I haven't had it for a long time. I'm married.
All right, so the winner of Joe's package is... Wait a minute, Loot Cypher already won. No, Loot Cypher didn't win, did he?
He didn't win Joe's package.
I'm just...
He's giving away the extra package.
Oh, that's
he's
right.
Giving away a Rob 2E pack.
So Loot Cypher's giving away something, but now he just won, so that's good. So... Lou, just PM me, and I will give you. I have the prize in my Dropbox. Thank you. That's a vagina joke. And then I'll give you Joe's package from out of my Dropbox, and you will have that. So good times.
Oh man.
Let's put in the next one. Let me
call the FG STD there or something. What's it called?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm clean.
Trade in.
Loose Cypher. Okay, so let's see. What do we have left? Oh, I know. Let's do Schmo's personal adventure, the PDF personal adventure. Let's do that next. Let's put her on in. It's all about
that's what she
jokes.
said.
Yeah, that's right. And
you can always, this is always a guaranteed dick joke. At least 6 of them.
This show's going to last longer than Rob can by a lot because we have so many prizes to give away.
Yeah, you don't know that Rob 2E, the E stands for erection.
Thank you very much.
But it's 2 inches.
Wondering how he get 2 of them.
I'm gonna make people learn, Chris. I'm gonna make people learn your handle here. So the keyword is FSH Schmo, and they gotta figure out.
Oh, what does that mean?
Chris can explain what that means. Hey Siri, start timer for 5 minutes.
The FSH stands for Fat Smoking Hobbits. It's a Lord of the Rings online kinship that I started back when the game was in Alpha 3, and it just turned 11. So that's an idea of how long the kinship's been around, even though I'm its only member at the moment, but whatever. And the Schmo is a nickname of my neighbor that lived across from me when I was growing up.
Oh, cool.
And just a quick note on this adventure. I actually just finished writing it this morning. We're going to do some play testing on it next Saturday, and it's got to be edited for spelling and grammar and stuff other than spell check. And then once it's released, I'll send it over.
And is that also going to be Drive-Thru RPG?
Yep, it'll be available on Drive-Thru RPG.
Okay, so the winner needs to get their Drive-Thru email. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Were we in the middle of a question, or did we finish one?
Nope, I finished it.
Okay.
Yep, barely. Just got right under
Barely,
the radar.
I felt like I was at the Emmys or something, being cut off and flagged off the stage.
All right.
I got a question actually for all the DMs in here, because there's lots of DMs and a couple guys like Urash who's going to DM, even if I have to start riding them like a goddamn donkey. But how do you guys feel when you kill your first player and or being too nice to the people you're playing with? Because I always find myself leaning towards being a nice guy, even though it's intended to fucking kill them.
Yeah, that's a fine edge to walk. I mean, did my module go in a direction that that was encouraged it to be too difficult? Are they just fucking up? Or are they just running into it? And sometimes it's deserved. I think more times than not, it's probably deserved. But I feel great about
that. I'm always of the mind that when I'm DMing that players kill themselves, unless the module you're playing or that you've created or the situation that you've drummed up is way overpowered on purpose. Smart players should be able to get out of it, because at the very least there's no shame in running. So if there's a TPK or at least just one player character dies, usually that's a bad decision, maybe not by that individual but by the party as a whole, because you should be able to get out of it and come back another day. But I think people that end up dying, they did it to themselves. Now that's not always the case, but I would say for the most part that's true.
I would say on Rob's table, the only people running are just to get out of the way of the fireball our cleric's going to drop.
Cleric has fireball?
Clerics don't have fireball.
Or not cleric.
Necklace of fireballs, though.
There you go. Yeah, that's what we were doing.
A necklace, as he says.
Oh, yeah.
Necklace.
So this is more, I mean, from my perspective, it's about getting the balance right, so that if there is certainty of death, it's the wrong encounter. But if you don't know how it's going to go, that's about right. And if it goes in favor of the players, that's great. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. But it's the ones where you set it up and it's just sort of like, open the door and 50 D20 of damage. Yeah, no fun.
Yeah, I don't like impossible situations. I will say that. If it's designed to kill, I think you're doing it wrong. If you do it to an NPC. But I think
then of course you have Tall Joe playing, and he's got some entirely overpowered magic user because he studied the spells for 14 years. Then you got to really just throw the 8 red dragons at him.
Yeah, killing him is really hard. I've actually tried a number of times. That fucker's slippery.
Well, and I'm also kind of waiting on Schmo's response here. And I want both your responses, Schmo, for D&D 5e specifically, but also since we've been playing Shadow of the Demon Lord, and that is a 100% different world for life and death. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I was actually going to... Funny you should bring that up. I was going to say, I have 2 answers to this. As many of you know, because you've played with me and people that are watching the stream, Shadow of the Demon Lord, I have no problem killing a character. They deserve it for playing that game. So it's actually y'all's fault. It's not mine. Y'all signed up for it. Fifth edition. I don't necessarily like killing players in fifth edition. When I did run Adventurers League stuff, I would typically run it as at the very hard encounter settings. I would. God, what is this woman's problem? She keeps interrupting me.
Go ahead.
I'll make it quick so I don't mess up the schedule. I typically ran it at the very hard because I kind of felt like AL was a little too easy, especially when you get a lot of power players. They just blow through stuff. Fifth edition, I try to bring them to the edge and let the dice push them over because I don't necessarily want to kill somebody in fifth edition. I let the dice do it.
That's
Dice or the death portal you send us all into.
Yeah, hey guys, blow this flute. Nothing bad's gonna happen. I promise. Oh, by the way, you just went to hell.
And that's an advice for every player. If the DM ever just says, "Hey, this should be fine," it's not fine. It's not.
Nope.
It's not going to be fine. Shadows of the Demon Lord, though, is particularly nasty. That's a deadly game. All right,
That's
let's...
not necessarily true because I've played on Schmo's table 5e. I had my first character in 5e ever die on his table, and then like a week later, I had my second character in 5e die on his table, and that week after that, I had my third character in 5e die on his table, and after that, I was like, all right, like characters just die.
That was those NT Black adventures, man.
If we add up the evidence on what you just said, Sooner, that just means Schmo kills people. That's what it is.
Oh yeah.
I've also had characters on your table die.
Yeah, you've died, but
I think the evidence is I do dumb shit regularly.
Yeah, you do.
Let's draw the Schmo adventure. The winner is Knight 5150. Congrats.
Nice, congrats.
Knight 5150. Just PM me in Discord and give me your email, and when that comes out, he will give it to you. Discord is that link right there. Excellent, and I'll go mark down who won what. So Knight 5150 won that.
While he's finishing up that, I have this epic death story in one of Schmo's games where we all went in this cottage, and I was a barbarian, and we had 4 other players. They all got killed.
What? Urash played a barbarian? What the hell?
Oh, yeah, why wouldn't I? That's my trademark. Anyway, everybody dies. I'm a half-orc, and I'm killing things. I'm still up, and then it kills me, and I use my relentless endurance and stand up, and I've got 1 hit point, and they take me down, and I'm unconscious, and the rats ate me alive.
Oh.
Yes.
Nice.
That's gross.
And Mark, did you intend for your prizes to be together or separated?
So there's a FG Ultimate with Morty's, and there's a Morty standalone because I don't know how to buy shit on the FG the Fantasy Grounds store.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we'll go through that. So you're doing an Ultimate with Morty's and then another Morty standalone?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God.
Damn.
It's a fucking man. We might have to make
I
that.
might have to enter that. I don't have either one of those.
Yeah, right. Let's see. Control C, go up here, cursor in, put a plus, Control V, bam, like that. So let's give away next just the Mordenkainen Sommerfos Fantasy Grounds, courtesy of M. Clancy 10006. Let me go punch it in. So this will be Mordenkainen's. Tome of Foes. Tome of Foes. And we'll make the keyword on that. We'll just make it MTOF. And we shall reset. We shall start. Hey Siri, set timer for 5 minutes. And
Your timer is set for 5 minutes.
yeah, I'm getting sick of you. All right, so back to us.
Okay. Next question related to Fantasy Grounds doesn't necessarily have to be D&D, but I'm going to start with Joe Numbers. What is your favorite build or your favorite class to play normally in any D&D game or whatever game it is?
I really like the randomness of kind of letting rolls decide. I've got a chance to play a number of different ones. I don't really have a favorite. Like I can always count on Urash bringing a fighter, a barbarian. Stooner's usually, my fighter type. I've played clerics, I've played sorcerers, I've played fighters, wizards. I love them all. They're just each has a uniqueness about it that's just kind of comes out.
All right, good answer, man. Tall Joe.
I probably had the most fun playing the monk class, especially Burke Perkins, the flying bird monk. There's just a lot of interesting stuff happening in that class, and yeah, I think it's really fun. My second favorite is sorcerer. I think, lots of good, crazy spell stuff going on, especially when you have spell points to fork spells and the like. So monk and sorcerer.
Awesome. So Urash, what do you not play?
So I can tell you this. I look at the rules, and if the DM's allowing flanking, I'll probably play a fighter or maybe a cleric. But if they're not allowing flanking, I go with that reckless barbarian because he's getting the advantage on the tosses.
He wants advantage on every fucking attack. I love it.
That's right. But I mean that has its pitfalls because they roll an advantage on you too. But it's worth it.
How about you, Rob? What do you like playing?
So I've always been a wizard guy. I just love wizards. That was my first. That's what Kevin killed. Fucking Kevin. But I've always loved wizards. But as of late, and not just because I made it, but the reason I did make it was I love, like what Joe said. I love just randomness. And so I've got up on the screen. I don't think you guys can see it because I don't think I shared my screen, but the stream can see it. I've got my full PC generator. And with the click of a button, I just made a half-elf variant warlock who's a noble knight, and that's what I would play. If I was going to get into a game, I would just make that character and play it. I've played now. My goal was when I started playing 5th edition, my goal was to play every class and see if I did like one best. But I have a lot of fun. I think I'm pretty much the same mindset as Joe Numbers. I just like to play anything I'm given. And so unless like today when I played with Nerdarchy, I thought, let me play a barbarian so I don't fuck up and I'm very familiar with, and I don't have spells, and it was easy. But if I was going to get into a game or especially a campaign, I would just roll up a random character.
Right on. Schmo?
When I do play, it's a toss-up between barbarian and bards.
Okay. Stooner?
Well, Joe Numbers is right. I definitely lean towards people who are extremely aggressive, even characters that aren't supposed to be played like that. But I think the funnest character I've ever had was Wild Magic Sorceress. Because you never know, man. I summoned a Pegasus. I summoned a werewolf. I grease slicked myself by accident all in one fight.
Bring
all
back
in one
Spatula.
fight.
Bring back Spatula.
Yeah, Spatula. She's probably my favorite D&D character that I've ever played.
How about Mark?
I go towards the 2nd edition version of Magic User, so that's a sorcerer, warlock, wizard. Although I've played a lot of things. I like bards a lot, but only at really high level. I find the low-level bards are kind of too hard to play. But I love the spellcasters, and so I don't play one now.
Well, I feel like a low man on the totem pole, but I usually play clerics.
Somebody
Yeah,
has
That's
to.
my favorite.
Now,
Yep.
once the Tortle came out, I played clerics, but
Mhm.
previous to that, I didn't want anything to do with clerics.
Someone was that everybody?
I think
Joe.
so. Oh, Joe Numbers or Tall
Told
Joe?
you.
Tall Joe.
Told Joe.
He said
Uh,
monk.
No, he said
Yeah, monk.
Oh,
I mean,
Oh, I'm
okay.
That's
okay.
what I thought.
I will also add to that one of the things that we're doing is not just picking a character class, but coming up with like a story and a reason for being. So Vodos was a paladin. He was, what is the name of that thing?
Merman.
Merfolk.
Yeah, he's yeah. And so I had a sort of backstory of why this, water elemental history kind of person was now a paladin on Earth, and that was more fun to me, and that's what draws me to things like Burning Wheel or Apocalypse World, is building that backstory that's not just a bunch of numbers in a spreadsheet.
Nice. Good
Yeah.
answer, man.
So Mick Olog or MC Olog had a follow-up question in the chat. What characters do you hate? So everybody think about that for a minute. But first,
Oh,
we're
the
gonna give
Defiler
away a
class.
prize. How dare you? God damn it. He's making a joke about a class that's on the DM's Guild that I wrote that he doesn't like.
It's
let's
great.
see.
It's actually a good
How do
class.
you delete Joe, tall Joe? How do you? I don't know. Okay. We're gonna give away a prize. This prize is Mordenkainen's Tomophos Fantasy Grounds module, courtesy of M. Clancy 10,006, and the winner is boom, Skylar Patterson.
Yes.
So congrats to Skylar Patterson.
Congratulations.
So Skylar Patterson, I will put the Discord link in chat once again. And if you are not on my Discord, how dare you? But if you are, great. Go ahead and click on that link. Get over to my Discord and PM me. And what we need for you is your Fantasy Grounds forums name. That's how you can get someone can give you a module by using your forum name. So we need that from you, and then I'll go mark down Skylar Patterson for. Let's see. I'm gonna move this down here a little bit so I don't get screwed up. Skylar Patterson. That got spelled wrong, but whatever. We know what it is. And then I'm gonna mark that out. And how many do we have left? We have, let's see, I didn't do the rest of these orange ones. I have color codes, you guys. The stream can see. You guys can't see anymore. You know what the hell I'm talking about. I could share my screen, but then you won't see my face, which could be very deadly for you. Okay,
Or
so
good.
we have 1, 2, 3 left, it seems.
Don't
So-
forget about the everything package.
Yeah,
too.
that's what we're gonna give away. I think.
I'm gonna step away for a quick seconds, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. I think is he gone? Fuck Stooner. All right. Let's give away that right now, as a matter of fact. So this will be the everything package, and when so this is not my prize. This is courtesy of Lou Cipher, who won this and then is now redonating it to give away again, because I think he already has it. And as opposed to everything on the DM's Guild by me that I'm giving away, sort of a bigger prize, the everything package is just what I did in 2016 and 17, and also the coding package. So it's not quite everything, but it's that. So we'll go ahead and give that away this time.
So keyword almost.
We
There
could
you
do
go.
that. We could do that. Yeah, the keyword is almost.
And this will be the first time, but that's going to be the same, or first time for today. But that's Rob's prom date, right? Almost.
Almost, exactly. Can't believe that hasn't
Perfect.
made it in till now. All right, so if you guys want to win the almost package, it's keyword almost. We'll start her up. Hey Siri, set timer for 5 minutes. And then now
Set for 5 minutes.
we can get to what class would they hate to play. So Leroy,
this
you
is my-
want to?
Okay, so we're gonna go in order this time. I kind of do it randomly, so it's not just the same heads over and over and over. But let's go with Urash.
I haven't played a wizard yet, because of all the spells and figuring out which ones are prepared and all that stuff. So I like the cleric because you get every spell and you just pick some that you want to prepare. But choosing the spells, and I want to look at them really close and know what I'm doing before I jump into wizards.
So that's your least favorable.
Correct.
I can't wait for the campaign we're gonna start. He's gonna roll a wizard and he's gonna be like, ah, fuck.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it. Hey, Tall Joe, what do you normally dislike to play or don't want to play?
I don't play fighters or bards all that much. Just aren't. I don't know. Straight up combat just isn't as interesting for me.
Okay, I gotcha. Rob,
Druid.
one word, Druids. And McClancy, what about you?
I never really have ever played a monk, so I'm gonna put that in my list. And clerics are not too distant second.
Okay. How about you, Stooner?
For me, it is 109,000% fucking Bard's garbage. I happen to have the privilege of joining into a game that Rob was playing. They were almost done. and I took over for a bard character. And I spent the hours reading Bard's moves and shit. And this guy had the character built, and the only thing I could think is, what the fuck crackpot shit is this? Like, one,
What?
Bards suck because I read all their shit. I hate it. And two, the way the guy built the character was bad. Like, the type of stuff you look at and you're like, why? Like, who and what?
You realize you jinx yourself. Now you're going to roll a bard for the Friday campaign. Urash is going to have a wizard, and you're going to be a bard. It's going to be amazing.
Maybe
I'll
we
have
should
the
just
monk. Yeah.
yeah, we should do the anti-campaign for you guys. Okay, so let's see. We had Stunner. Let's go with Joe numbers.
Same answer. I'm good with anything. Probably the made up ones. Those are probably the ones that we had one in was it Dragon Lord? I think it was.
Yeah, Defier and Dragon Lord. Those are.
Yeah.
Dragon Lord was made by Wolf,
I
and
think
then it was rebalanced by a number of attacks on DM's Guild by people, and then we rebalanced it.
Yeah, I never did look at it after it got rebalanced, but it's the ones that everyone thinks, oh, this would be cool, and then it just like fucks the whole game.
It really gives you an appreciation for the Wizards of the Coast people and what they go through, and they get 250,000 playtesters there, so that
Yeah.
doesn't happen, right? And then still people have complaints about druids and everything.
Hashtag Mystic.
I will
Okay.
say
Oh my
though,
God.
I am damn near. I am damn near ready to ban conjuring spells in general, so AKA druids from DMing.
Okay.
For my players.
All
Well,
right.
is that because it's overpowered? Or is that because it's just too much of a pain in the ass to manage on the table? Because I
Both.
vote for the latter.
It is 100% both.
All right, so let's go with Schmo.
I'm gonna have to second what Urash said. Wizards, mainly because it seems way overly complicated.
Okay.
Ain't nobody got
Um,
time for that.
Yeah, I myself do not care for just a straight fighter. It's not quite enough for me. I mean, I do like some of their special moves and the fact that they can kick butt when they need to. But, if I'm going to play something like that, I'd rather be a paladin or a barbarian or something with a little bit more backstory potential.
Or as I call them, fig hitters. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, what does a fighter do when we're not fighting?
exactly.
Eat figs.
Sharpen their swords and practice fighting.
Shit or fuck.
That too. Eat.
Oh, eat. I forgot eat. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't shit if you don't eat. Remember that saying?
That's true.
Anyways.
Yeah, but
Pick
that's-
fights.
I've also noticed with feats. Feats can change a person's opinion
Oh
True.
yeah.
about every character, right? Because all of a sudden, the character that you can't customize to what you want can immediately be customized to everything you've ever dreamed of by
True.
like level 8.
True.
Or in fighters' cases, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
Right,
Like,
right.
Jesus.
All right, we're going to give away another prize because that's how we do it here. So this is the everything. This is the almost, right? This is the everything package.
Almost everything.
This is on the DM's Guild. The title of it is called Rob Toohey Everything Sale, is what the name of it is. And I'm going to draw a winner here, and the winner is, boom, Cian. I hope I'm saying that right. Ceanne. So Cian, congrats for that.
Nice.
What I would need you to do is PM me in Discord. Here's my Discord link. And what I need is your DM's Guild email that you use. And if you don't have an account on DM's Guild, just go make one, and then whatever email you use, send me that. And I will go right over here. And I'm going to put Cian. So I think what we'll do... Oops, I did that wrong. Cian. No, here we go. Okay, E. So I think what we'll do is we have 2 left. Everything I've done on the DM's Guild, and then Mark's Ultimate License and Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes bundled. And I think what we'll do is we'll continue the show, and when we think that the show's over, then we'll give away those 2 at the end. I think that's the best way to do it. That gives incentive for people to hang out, because the 2
There you
biggest
go.
prizes go at the end.
All right. Okay, you guys ready for another question, or do you want to ask a question amongst yourselves? I mean,
But let me say one thing. By the way, guys, if you have questions in the chat, I hope most of the people have been looking at the chat. I've tried to, but obviously
I
I'm
have.
concentrating. Okay, good. So if we miss anything, we apologize. But if you have questions, go ahead and ask them in the chat, and they can be to us. But also keep in mind what this show is. This show is all things Fantasy Grounds. So if you guys have any questions about Fantasy Grounds that you're interested in getting answered, we've got 8 experts here. So ask them now, and we'll try to answer your questions for you.
Or
Right.
7 experts and Rob.
Yeah.
So this
7 experts and 1 employee. That's all we have here.
So any of you have a question for another person or the group as a whole?
Yeah, I got a question
Yeah.
for you.
Okay.
I want you to tell us the reason, if you can pick just one reason or feeling that you had that you, and I think I know this answer, but I want everyone to hear it, made you start what initially was called Fantasy Grounds Church.
Oh yeah. So that whole thing was, I started back up into Fantasy Grounds or into D&D period. And I've been on hiatus because I had family and all that stuff. The one thing that I really like to do is to help people. And by doing that, I use Fantasy Grounds and Dungeons and Dragons and the Discord community to help others. And that could be in a lot of different forms, not just to learn to play the game, although that's what we're doing there. But I would have to say I have a very strong emotional attachment to it. So I don't get paid. I don't get any of that stuff. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and help somebody out, take the time to show them how it works and talk to them. And that tends to keep the community better indirectly. So the one word I can say is helper.
Yeah.
So that's what I like to do.
Cool. Excellent. Does
Okay.
anybody
Cleric
else
for you.
want to ask anybody else anything?
Yep, I'm a cleric.
I
Okay.
got a question for Schmo.
Okay.
How do you run D&D 5e as well as you do? Because you know more than I do, and I put in a lot of research, but you've obviously been doing it for a long time. But how do you go from that to doing these random games where you literally have to make up half the shit as you go? Like Shadow the Demon Lord and that crazy hippie Nazi one. What the hell was that one?
Satanic Panic.
Satanic
Oh,
Panic,
Satanic
yeah.
Panic, yeah, where we all kill teenagers. That's awesome. Just the concept of killing teenagers makes me happy.
I enjoy that you do that because I love jumping from game to game. It's great, but I don't understand how you can do it as a DM.
To be honest, and I don't want to give away my secret here, but a lot of it I just make up as I go. Yeah, I'm decent at bullshitting. So I just kind of make it up as I go. Some of the stuff I learned from my players because a lot of them know the rules more than I do, and they'll kind of call me out on it. I don't know. I enjoy reading new things. I'm reading another one now, Kids on Bicycles, which is an RPG based on Stranger Things.
Nice.
So excited about that, and also waiting for the Satanic Panic stuff to come back out.
So Tall Joe, that sounds exactly like your story, man.
Yeah, I like reading. I like learning new stuff. I like 5th edition. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I like to explore different things.
And Stooner, Brack Oren in the chat said practice with improv, and that's what I was going to add to Schmo's statement. If any DM, anybody that's a DM or anybody that wants a DM, if you took even one improv class or maybe went to a couple of them, if they have them in your town, that will really, because even though improv is made up, there's rules to improv. And that would really expand your mind and help you to DM. And that's I draw on that. I was at Second City, and I've done improv and stand up for a long time, but I always am drawing on that. Even when I'm doing a made up module or a WotC module, I still make stuff up because if you watch my shows, you see people in the chat going, "That's not the way it goes." That's not how that module goes. You know, I get that almost every game. Somebody says that, but it's because I'm making shit up and changing shit as I go.
Yeah, I did a lot of improv in San Francisco. It teaches you how to justify things really well. So if something unexpected happens, you can justify it in world really quickly. I like a lot of the indie RPGs that are improv based. So Apocalypse World and Powered by the Apocalypse. I can run those with zero prep pretty much, except print out the playbooks and keep going. So improv is really useful. And the other thing that's helpful is your players can answer questions for you. So if you don't know the answer, just ask, subtly a question, and they will give you an answer that you can then build on.
Yeah,
that's in world and still works.
2 questions, guys.
Oh, hold on. See, I agree with that statement very wholeheartedly, but both Urash and Rob know my introduction to DMing. That was the least it could have ever been in the history of mankind, and I'd say I pulled it off pretty fucking fantastic. So that's not what I'm at, because I already kind of knew the rules was my thing, but just jumping into another game with barely knowing the rules was what I was leaning towards. Like the DMing shit is fine.
The other thing to remember is, as long as you don't back yourself into a corner you can't get out of, whatever you say is gospel. So if you're the DM and you say something and it's wrong, you just have to roll with it and just make it your own. And because you're God in the game, so nobody can tell you, oh no, that's not right, because it's your deal.
Sorry,
right? So
I'm going to interrupt again. Just before we get to those 2 questions, please remember. So, on that note, because you're God as DM, have you ever killed anyone out of spite in a game? Because I have. I had a guy in a Thursday one-shot game. He's being a fucking idiot, so I killed him out of spite. He totally walked into it. His character is definitely going to die, but I made sure he died out of spite.
Yes, I have. AL, I have.
You're a brave man to admit that in public. I'm trying to remember if I've done that. I'm sure I did when I was a kid, Kevin. But I don't know that I would admit that, because if a guy's being a jerk in a game, it's probably a combination of both that person and me, and I'm sure that I'm somehow contributing to that person being a jerk. So I wouldn't want to turn them off of totally D&D altogether. I just want to turn them off of me. So I would try to find a way, without admitting it, I would try to find a way to just have that person not come back to my table, and I have done that. And I will do it.
I should reiterate specifically, I had 3 players in the game that told me this guy shouldn't be here.
Yeah, if you've got a problem child, they
3
need to
of
go.
the other players were upset about it, but I was more angry, right? I was the most angry. The guy was just being a piece of shit the whole game, so I just fucking killed him.
Well, everybody knows that the whole point of D&D is for everybody to have fun, and if everybody isn't having fun, you got to fix it. So you fixed it. Oh, we had a lull. Everybody kind of went, oh.
I wasn't able to kill my player. He ended up getting away from the encounter, and then I asked him to leave the table and banned him from my channel and told him never to show his ass back up again.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right. So we got 4 questions now, guys.
All right.
First question. This is from Furied Fate in the stream. She wants to know, basically, the female interaction with gamers in your early days when you first started. So did you have girl gamers? And if so, what was that like?
Yeah, Zell was in a lot of the early 5e pickups and salvage encounters. So, and there's a couple other gals that would cycle through too, Bailey and a few others.
Uh-huh.
They definitely bring a lot to the game. I always enjoy them coming in and bringing a whole new element that makes it a lot of fun.
All right. Anybody else?
Most of my IRL games have been with women. I think one of the first ones was a Dungeon Crawl Classics, and there's about 10 people, and probably a good third of them were women. I used to go to Seattle Story Games a lot, and that there was a lot of women in that. So yeah, it just so happens that the circles that I hang out in, there's a lot of women in the RPG space.
Anybody else?
Yeah, one of my favorite games ever is with Zell, her own made-up world. I already mentioned it. And then I've also played with Fury, and I've also played with Bailey. And for some reason, I pick troll names all the time, and I still haven't gotten in trouble from it from the women. But yeah, let's just say I made a character named Manmeat with a woman on the table, and like I didn't think about it beforehand, right? So, and she didn't give me shit.
Nope, give you a fist probably though.
No, there's some epic lines though. Just mentioning his character in a string of words, it was hilarious.
I bet. Okay.
So yeah, so I'll say something about this. Everybody has to remember that I'm super old, and I started playing D&D in 1981. And in 1981, 82, we couldn't get girls to play with us. It wasn't, we actively recruited in high school.
Why we played D&D.
Right. That's why we
play D&D.
We were playing D&D because, but we tried to get, some of us would bring our books to school or maybe have one of the modules open with the graph map on it, and girls would come over and go, "Hey, what's this? This looks pretty fun." And then, and then but all of a sudden I become the stalker. It's D&D Saturdays at Wayne's house. It's at 2:00, and okay, I'm out. And so we couldn't get girls to play with us. But then, when I was in the Army and I was in Korea, I played 86, 87 was when I stopped playing AD&D because we were playing Dragonlance, and we had a group of us, 4 or 5 guys, and one girl did express interest, and these other 4 backwood fucking Louisiana Army fucks, whoever these guys were that were in my group, they wouldn't allow her to come in, and so based on that, I got pissed and quit. And so then I didn't play D&D for 20 years, and then but now as an adult and as a streamer and a gamer, and I'm all for women playing. And what I don't like is that it's even a discussion point. I don't like that. Like next week we're having a show. The next show is going to be women gamers, and I'm going to get them to talk about it because there's always been a stigma. I mean, all over the planet Earth, it's always men versus women, and I don't like it. I've never liked it, and I'm upset that you even have to say, what about women gamers? It shouldn't even be a point of discussion. It should just be everybody's the same. And so hopefully we're going to get them to talk about it because we've got 6 or 7 female gamers that are going to be on the show next week. But I'm all for it, and I love it. I love to, if they're DMing or if they're playing, I'm down with it.
Cool.
Yeah, I love having girls on the table DMing for them and stuff. Cons, all that kind of stuff. I like having them. Like Rob, it pisses me off when we have that conversation.
Yep. Anybody else?
All I have to say for Fury is meow.
Meow. What's going on? Oh my God, what's happening?
There's an issue there.
She cursed my Tabaxi character, and I have to say meow now all the time. So, payback.
Okay. Anybody else on the female gamer interaction type?
Hey, since we talked about that, let me just mention. I'll mention the for the show next week. We are going to have Zovia, Susie Q, Alex, L-U-N. How do you say her name? I've never met
Alexandria?
her. No. L-U-N.
Elian.
Oh, Elian.
I think
Okay.
it's just Ellen.
I haven't met. Oh, is it Ellen? Oh, it's just spelled that way. Okay, because I haven't met her. And then Furied Fate and Rogue and Amai will all be here. So if you guys are interested in hearing what women have to say about gaming, be here next week because that's what's happening.
Jesus Christ, you got an all-star lineup.
Yeah,
Right?
it looks nice.
Zelicar couldn't make it.
We had an all-star
that
lineup
is-
this week and an all-star lineup next week, and it's just coincidental that it's,
Back to back.
8 white guys and then the women next week.
Okay. So the next question in the chat was all evil party or a chaotic evil character? Go. Let's go with Urash.
I haven't tried that. It's always weird when some of the people in the party are like stealing or backstabbing their own party members, and or even the other extreme, a paladin that's over the top, like, oh, I can't do that. I'm lawful good or whatever. So I haven't played in a lot of games where alignment came into play much, and I don't know the games I've watched with that. It's a little weird, so I'm not sure.
How about you, Joe? Tall Joe.
I think that alignment of the team of the party needs to really make sense. You can't you obviously can't have a mix of characters. It needs to be like, here's a party that's okay, we're evil, and then that means a particular thing. I think it's too easy to be just assholes and call that evil. I think it's more fun when you play evil as you think you're doing good, but it turns out that you're the only ones that see it that way. Like a lot of bad guys think they're good guys in their own eyes, and playing it that way is really interesting. And sometimes it's fun to have a evil character that's being dragged along into your party against their will. Like you see a lot of times in TV and like that, where like here's a character that is stuck with you guys, and you're keeping them in line, and they don't really want to be that way, and create some interesting things. But I don't like parties where, you know, just because you're evil or chaotic means you get to be a dick or that guy. So, you know, so long as it's done in a way that makes it so everyone can have fun, I'm totally down with it.
Okay. Let's see. Let's go with Joe Numbers.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with Tall Joe more on this one. I've had the privilege of playing in a party where that was a thing. There was an individual that was okay to be a dick and to, you know, steal every magic item and sell it back to the party, and that's just a dick move. I don't care to play with people like that, and that's my preference. But I can see the attraction, and I think there's a large distinction, like Joe said earlier, about, you know, you're lawful evil, so follow some rules. You know, you're chaotic evil, so break all the rules. Just, it doesn't have to be, hey, what's the way that I can piss everyone off today? And that, you know, I get where that goes, but too often that's where it ends up. There are certainly play styles where that is a lot of fun, where, you know, you're just there to mess with people. But I think you need to look at that a little bit better. It's chaotic or evil does not necessarily mean you just piss off your party mates.
Rob.
Yeah, so tagging on to what Joe was saying, I do not and never have like inter-party negativity, like a thief who pickpockets his party members all the time or stuff like that. I'm all for joking around and having some even dramatic play between party members, or joking or teasing or stuff like that, and not players but characters. But as far as evil players or an evil campaign where the whole party, everybody's got to be on the same page. I've never been able to stand, and I don't, much like Joe said, you know, you can play characters that Tall Joe said, you can play characters as evil, but they think they're not evil. They think they're doing the right thing. But if you have an evil campaign, everybody in the party's got to be on the same page, and there can't be any infighting. It's got to be us versus the monsters, or us versus the village, or whatever it is. Because you guys can just think back. I mean, whether you've played for a couple of years or whether you've played for 20 years, you can think back to games where players were fighting with each other, and it bled from character into person. Like, you know, not Jocko the Barbarian, but Rob is pissed off. And you'd never want that, because then people are going to quit, it's going to die, and it's all going to fade away, and that's not what it's about. And so evil campaigns could be fun, but they have to be absolutely done the right way.
Yep. All right, let's go with Mark.
So let me just add on to that, right? I think you can do them the right way. I played a face-to-face game eons ago that was awesome. Everybody was chaotic evil or neutral evil and self-centered and pain in the ass. But we didn't go player against player. It was sort of the bad guys against the good guys. We played the other side of the story. But I actually think with Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes and the whole sort of set of lore between the demons and devils in there, I think there's some really good campaigns that could come out of that kind of storyline that could make these kind of games work.
Cool. Anybody else want to mention Evil Party or? Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, Yosh.
Go ahead, sir.
No, you first.
All right. Well, it's I've been a subscriber to Rob's Way of Living for a long time. We don't really pay attention to what you think you want as your as your true new or your chaotic evil, right? Like we just never dealt with that. We're just playing a fucking game. We're not gonna worry about too much our role playing. But in real life, I played with a guy who is quite literally chaotic neutral, like as himself in real life and as his character always, and that gave me a good basis for going off things. Like he played beer darts, got hit in the foot with a dart, stopped to take a picture, soaked it down with vodka because he figured that would get rid of it. Right, like get rid of the infection. End up with a huge infection. Went to the doctor, got the shots, came back and was like, "Yeah, that was kind of stupid." And then was playing beer darts with his foot wrapped.
You mean like the same day?
No, there was like
Oh,
he got
okay,
an
okay.
infection like a week
Jesus.
later. He was playing
Hold
beer.
on, I'm going to the emergency room. Give me 20 minutes. I'll be back. You know, like what the fuck?
But in the group I played with in real life, it wasn't chaotic neutral. It was called Dustin, and he's a fantastic human being in real life, right? Like he's a great person. He's always there for his friends. I didn't even know him that well when I started playing with him, and he had my back always, right? So yeah, it was very interesting, but gave me a spectrum to base the scale off of on people I actually knew in real life.
It's awesome.
So I actually have two responses to that. As a player, I played a chaotic evil sorcerer, I believe. I hit it very well from the party. Well, not too well. They figured it out in our second session and they killed me.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Slow learners.
And then as a DM, I consider every Shadow of the Demon Lord game to have potential to be an evil campaign, because that's the players in that world can leave innocent people to die on a whim to save themselves, and that kind of fits the whole scenario. So every game has potential to be an evil campaign, and you could always drop some road apples and head down the highway.
Or like watch an 8-year-old get sacrificed to a giant tree.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And slowly go insane too. Also.
Yeah, it's part of leaving the innocence behind is you get a touch of insanity.
Yeah.
Fuck that. His little thugs beat the shit out of me earlier. And now there's a giant fucking demon tree in front of me. No. That kid can just die. I'll preserve my own life.
Yeah, there's only 2 of us in that too, so we had to run.
I think even if there was 5 of us, it was the best idea to run.
All right. Anybody else got a comment on evil parties or? Okay. Next question. Non-5e Fantasy Grounds stuff. So, anybody here running or playing anything? I know we got Shadow of the Demon Lord. Anybody here playing other systems or running other things? Or working on something for other game system?
I'm too narrow-minded. I can't.
Yeah, that should be my answer too. I am not doing that, but I have in the past. When I first got to Fantasy Grounds, I would play any game that was available. So I was playing a Star Trek game that used the Savage Worlds rule set, and I do like Savage Worlds. I like the exploding dice. I like the way the skills are laid out. So I do like that. Although I'm not currently using it, I'm a big fan of the Savage Worlds rule set just by itself, but especially in Fantasy Grounds because it's all automated, of course. But other than that, I haven't delved. I played Call of Cthulhu, but not in Fantasy Grounds. I've never played Pathfinder or Starfinder. Many people don't believe me when I say that, but I've never, not even for 2 minutes, I've ever played either one of those, and probably don't think I ever will. But Fantasy Grounds, I played one game of 4E in Fantasy Grounds, and I didn't like it, but that's only because I don't like 4E. And then I've played a core RPG, one of the FG days or FG cons. I think we played a core RPG, like Mission Impossible kind of thing or something. But I'm kind of like Mark. Most of the time, I'm just 5E all the way.
Yeah. Anybody else other than 5th edition?
I mean, I did play Pathfinder twice, I think, but I'm more of a 5e.
Okay. Rob,
all the way.
Rob, didn't you play? Sorry, Singer, go ahead.
Oh, no worries. Like Schmo does it. I fucking love that world. I've never been a part of a world that is so visceral. Like 5e is fun, and I'm sure it could be extremely visceral if I was willing to role play. In that one, I don't even have to role play, and it is the craziest world you'll ever experience.
This is what
Rob-
Shadows of the Demon Lords.
Yeah, Shadow of
Yeah,
the Demon
yeah,
Lord.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I
That's
went and
fun.
bought the PHB and read through it, and I was like, okay, here's an example. You get an item. It's called an interesting thing that you get when you create your character. You want to know what the craziest shit I found was? You can get a bag of dicks. Confirmed by the guy who created it. You can also get really cool shit,
That's-
but I was reading through it.
That's right up your alley, or down your throat. One of the two. I don't know which one.
Or somewhere,
And-
some other orifice.
And we actually did confirm that when that came up, because the description is a fleshy bag of rods. I messaged the creator. I said, "Hey man, what did you have in mind? We think it's this or this." He goes, "Yeah, I totally envisioned it being a bag of dicks." So y'all.
Oh,
got it
is that Schwab?
right. Yeah, Schwab.
Yeah. Actually, Fury
Uh.
told me about that.
Hey,
Rob, did you
guys,
play?
I got to drop off. It was great chatting with you guys. I got something I got to do, but we'll have a good rest of the session.
See you later,
All
guys.
right.
See you later, Ross.
Thanks. Say bye to Urash, everybody. Oh, that must mean it's getting toward the end. We might start giving away stuff.
Yeah. You might have to.
First one to go.
get
Fuck
ready
that guy.
What a
Yeah,
dick.
Give
What a
away
dick.
some stuff. I got to run too.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do it then. Let's
Give
do.
away
We'll,
something.
we'll call this the end of the show, and then my guess is that it'll go another hour anyway. But let's give away a couple prizes. So we'll give away since Mark has to go, we'll give away his. And this is going to be the Ultimate License and Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes coupled together. So this is a big deal.
Mhm.
So let's pull it up. Let's punch it in. And we'll make the keyword McClancy. Because I like to say it. And
Yeah.
let's
I
reset it.
didn't know it was anything else until you corrected it.
Yeah, well, he finally told. I figured out his name one day, and I was like, oh, so it's not what I've been saying. Let's start it off. The keywords of McClancy. If you guys want to enter it, hey Siri, start timer for 5 minutes. We'll give you a 5-minute countdown.
Your timer is set for 5 minutes.
And the prize is the Fantasy Grounds Ultimate License coupled with Fantasy Grounds Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. And people are eating it up already, so there we go.
So just to add to the other things that are played, y'all, some of y'all might have heard us talking about Satanic Panic. What that is this is a game set in the late 70s, early 80s, right when D&D tabletop stuff was starting to come out. You play government agents who hunt down and kill people that play tabletop games, because it turns out they actually are summoning demons. So it's kind of a play on the whole stigma that was involved with D&D getting started.
Nice. All right. So, Rob, did you play Castles and Crusades?
I did. When did I do
Okay.
that?
Was it-
Oh, it was the last FGCon. That's what I did. Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Remember how the whole memory doesn't work for me sometimes? But yeah, I want to say I did that at FGCon 12.
Okay.
Don't
I
remember.
was just
a thing
curious. I
about it.
thought you had one.
Yeah, it was very similar to D&D, but there's different rules, and it seems it's a much simpler game, I think. But I do remember. Usually even though I can't remember the specifics of the game, I always get a feeling when I'm done playing a game, and I did not think to myself, "Oh, fuck that! I'm never doing that again." So I must have had fun.
So you remember that, but not the other. That's good.
Yeah, no.
I'm invested in Savage Worlds, so that's where the direction I'm going, above and beyond 5e.
Yeah, Savage Worlds. I really like the rule set, and I played Savage Worlds in real life, without computers, a few times too. So
Nice. I'm looking forward to some like cyberpunk or something like that.
are any of you guys into like cyberpunk or steampunk or any of that stuff? I know Tall Joe
Um,
is probably right.
like
I like
sci-fi
read
stuff.
massive amounts of sci-fi, but I've never played any games like that.
I've just been admiring Rob's Star Wars picture behind him there on the wall.
God,
Star Trek?
Every
Every
time.
time. No.
every time.
He meant Star Wars. That's what
He
he
meant
does.
Star
Oh,
Wars.
wow.
The Millennium
My-
Falcon.
My
Yeah.
Velvet Millennium Falcon. He loves that. And then Monsters of the Guild. That's the real copy. That's not the test print version that I also have here over there that I'm going to try to eBay for $70,000 because there's only 4 copies in existence.
Nice.
Yeah, the Velvet Millennium Falcon. I got that in like 1991 at a convention, I think.
I gotta jump out of here, guys.
Okay.
It was fun. I gotta bring plants and stuff in. We've got a tropical storm or some kind of crap headed this way.
Okay.
So yeah, thanks for having me, everybody. It was fun.
All right.
Okay,
cheers.
See you later, Schmo.
Yep, see everybody later.
That's what
Bye.
you get for living in Florida. Oh wait.
And it already passed me.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. We should be close to giving away that thing. A minute and a half.
That
So,
thing.
yeah, if you guys want to win the Ultimate License and Mordecai and Stumblefos on Fantasy Grounds, you got about a minute left to type in !M Clancy McClancy. Were there any more questions from chats in queue, Leroon?
One was related to what game systems you guys have played in the past. One in specific is Hackmaster. This just comments basically related to systems or different editions. So if you guys have any comments on different editions or game systems that you've played, even if it's not Fantasy Grounds.
Years ago, I played Top Secret, which is sort of like a spy kind of game set. I love that, and I haven't played it in 30 years, but I do that one again. I liked it a lot.
Cool.
I mentioned before I like Powered by the Apocalypse hacks, so Apocalypse World, Monster Hearts, and the like. I ran a Stars Without Number game. That was a lot of fun. It's a big sandbox sci-fi game. It's being sandboxed. Like I was like, here's a potential quest for you guys to do, and like, no, we're just going to get on a ship and go somewhere else. Like, okay, all right, I'm going to make up this next bit because I don't know what you're going to do. So that was a lot of fun, and we've got the alarm going off. Really interested in Numenera. It looks like it's got a really amazing world, so I'm just looking to brush up on it and get that together. Burning Wheel is really interesting. It's got a really great take on building out characters and coming up with a complete life history in their life path system. And then it's just a dice pool game that's sort of fun. And then, yeah, there's just so many great systems out there. I have a bookshelf full of them, and then, a couple gigabytes of RPGs I pulled off of Drive-Thru RPG and the like, of this indie RPGs and Kickstarters and all sorts of stuff. So way more great stuff out there than it's possible to play in a lifetime.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's give it away.
RPG game was on for free last weekend. Did you get to play it off of Steam?
Numenera?
Yeah, Numenera. I don't. Oh,
And
shit, I'll
isn't
put it on
the
that.
Numenera rule set's included with Fantasy Grounds, I think. Isn't it? I've never
Yeah.
played.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
think
sure,
Numenera.
but
I mean,
they're
I and Joe
actual,
would really
like-
like Numenera. It's a fun game.
All right, let's draw this so Mark can get out of here. The winner of the Ultimate License and Mordecai and Sum of Foes is, boom, Nice Failed. You did not fail.
Nice.
Congrats to Nice Failed, whom I will mark down here as the winner. So Nice Failed, if you would, PM me in Discord. Let's get you the Discord link in the chat. And we need your Fantasy Grounds forum. Your Fantasy Grounds forum name is how that will be awarded to you. And I will mark that out. And Mark, if you need to, you're free to go, sir. Thank you for being here.
Alrighty, thanks guys. So we'll talk
Mark.
again soon.
All right.
Play online even sooner.
See ya.
And then we will give away the last prize, which is everything I've ever done on DM's Guild. So
Wow.
that's about $125 worth of stuff, I think. So let's do that. Let me put it in, and then we'll continue to talk and wrap it up. Boom. We'll make the keyword Rob Toohey. He says this is the luckiest day of my year. Reset. And this is for everything I've done on the DM's Guild. We've started it. Hey Siri, set timer for 5 minutes. And we are good to go.
Okay, Rob, I need to hear the Kevin story. We can't. It's not a show without the Kevin story.
Oh my God, the
Do it
Kevin
in
story.
4
Okay.
minutes. 4
So
minutes.
my friend in high school, Wayne, is walking around and getting beat up because of it, carrying the Dungeon Master's Guide, 1981. I'm a sophomore in high school. And he and I were friends, and I said, hey, what's that? And he told me, and I went over to his house, and he goes, yeah, come over Saturday. We're going to have a game. It's really awesome. So we go over there. We make characters, and this is first edition. We spend about 4 hours making our characters. Just crazy. I don't know what he's doing, Stooner. But we get over there, and there's something called the Dungeon Master, and this is the guy that controls the games, and then he helps us to tell the story, and we're all the players. So this Dungeon Master, I'm 15 years old, and this guy's 12. His name's Kevin. And we get all prepared, and we're all ready. And all excited. We got our chips and our soda and whatever. You know, we're all. It's every scene straight out of D&D kids playing Stranger Things. It's the whole thing. So we start the game, and we're walking down an alley, and he says, you come around a corner, and then he rolls a die, and then he writes on a piece of scratch paper, and he slides it over to me. And I open this piece of scratch paper. Oh, wait, let me say this. I was a wizard, and back in those days, you rolled a D4 for hit points, so I had 2 hit points. So I opened the scratch piece of paper, and it says, your character has been shot with a crossbolt. You are dead. Do not say anything to the other players. And my face got totally red, and I threw the piece of scratch paper down on the table, and I said, fuck you, and fuck this game, and fuck you guys, and I'm fucking out of here. And then I went to lift the table, which is like an 800-pound oak table, to flip it, and I couldn't even budge it. You know, it basically gave me arm strain. And I started storming out of the play. And my friend Wayne comes out. Wait. And he says, Kevin, you can't fucking kill a guy like in the first 2 seconds of the game. He's like, well, that's what happened. And I punched this 12-year-old in the face. And you guys all know me now. When I was a young person, I was a fucking angry fucking like go time, fat little chunky, felt I had to prove myself all the time. And so, yeah, I was ready to kill him. And had that gone just a fucking slight cunt hair differently, I might not have even, I was trying to get Stooner to spit up. I might not even be here today. I might never have played D&D again. But that was the story of my very first D&D session. And then, of course, after that, everybody calmed down, and, you know, he didn't try to kill me, and we had a great fun. And then, you know, here I am 35 years later.
Great.
What I was doing on the screen is because I realized, why is my face so giant when I'm not the host?
It's just a matter of how this fucking thing works. I don't know.
I don't know. I just like I'm playing another game while we're doing this, right? I'm really good at listening.
Man.
No, I'm really good at listening, and I'm paying attention and shit. But I look up to the screen that I got above me, and there is my giant fucking head. I was like, whoa! Like,
Well, it's because you have so much experience in the chat.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't even look that big in real life. Like when I look at myself in the mirror, right? I'm like, what the fuck? The mustache looks good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't look like you
I
were
can only agree.
right straight out of the 1800s. No problem.
Yeah.
No, it's be nice to
You do that. Do you know you do that every minute or two? You do that. You do that.
The beard stroke.
yeah, the mustache.
There's
stroke.
one on the chin and then double mustache. And there's no way Joe doesn't do it as well. He's also got a very nice mustache. Look at him. Yeah.
Yep. You got to do
He
the
does
handlebar.
He does
thing.
the devil swipe like that. The devil swipe like that. And I'm
It's a
just trying to.
habit.
I'm just trying to. I don't know if anybody can see. I'm just trying to grow in this fucking half-ass 13-year-old pubic hair that I got on my lip. I don't know what's happening. It's never been. It's never. I think I have
You
too much
might want to go
estrogen.
get that looked at if it's 13 years old.
Hello. I want to be clear. I did not say I have 13-year-old pubic hair on my face, other than it being my own. It is mine. It's not
Okay.
another person. Holy shit.
Yeah, you could get in
Twitch.
trouble for that.
Yeah.
Cue Siri.
And the stream's gone. No, just kidding. Oh, there it is. Okay,
There it
it's the final moment, everybody. Let's. Oh, shut up. This. Yeah. Okay. Good. Let's give it away. Let's do it. So
Do
here
it.
it is. This is going to be for the Everything Rob Tui on DM's Guild. The winner is boom. It's Alexandri. If I said that right, I say Alex, but
Yep.
am I saying is Alexandri the correct way to say that? We'll find out next week. She's on the show. All right. So congrats.
Kill you.
Congrats. So PM me in Discord if you would, ma'am, and I will give you that. And I need your DM's Guild email. Oh, let me record her as the winner here. Alex Drei. I'm assuming that's Drei, Alexandri. All right, awesome. So that's everything. We gave away all the prizes. We don't necessarily have to shut it down, guys, but we've been doing 2 hours, so we could call it quits here. Unless anybody. Now,
Okay.
were there any other questions that we missed or that anybody wanted to know about?
I think that was most of them. A lot of them were just related to the rule sets and things. I think we covered most of that.
All right, so that went pretty well. Awesome. Either of the three of you guys that aren't Leyrun or I have anything you want to say? Parting words of wisdom? Anything you want to add?
Parting words of wisdom, figure out how it's not my face giant on the screen.
Figure it out. I don't know how
Unless-
if you can
Actually,
control
you guys
that.
can see my very nice spoon collection in the background.
Oh,
I
I
was asking
can.
about that.
I can control it. Oh my god, I can make you the whole screen, bitch. How about
Alright,
that?
Well, then I'm going to go full schmo on you.
Oh, is that you're just gonna leave?
Oh,
Is that?
there we go.
Yeah, my grandmother collected spoons. I know all about that kind of shit. Yeah. Excellent.
All right.
And then there's Joe. There's Joe Numbers. Biggest day right there. All right. So yeah, I think everybody's doing this. They're
Yep.
turning off their face. Now it's just you, Sooner. You're just you.
All right.
But
I did-
hey. Oh, go ahead, Lyron.
Oh, I was just gonna say I wanted to thank all you guys for showing up. Some of you've already left. That's cool. Also in the stream, I want to say thank you all you guys that support us and the stream and everything else that we do in the college. I'm going to be moving next month, so I actually have 2 more classes that I have scheduled, in which I'm going to have my computer taken apart and the whole 9 yards here in about a week and a half. So I have a character creation class Wednesday and a DM class, and then after that, it's going to be pretty sketchy. So I do have people to fill in for me, and I also have hopes that some of the people on the stream will help out in the college when they can or when they're ready. So just kind of give everyone the heads up, because next month I'm on the move, and that's all I had to say on that.
Cool.
I have a question for Leyrun.
Sure.
I have DM for you. When are you going to get me in on one of your games?
Good question. We need to work on that soon. And I
You
don't
like
mean
putting
just-
people on the spot, so now it's my turn.
Yeah, I mean, I have a spot for you, definitely. So we need to talk about timing, though.
Red Lucidity in the chat is asking, how do we get connected with the DM class? So I put the link for Fantasy Grounds College in the chat. Just go there and get on their Discord, and the rest will take care of itself. You'll know exactly when you look at, they have ways to sign up for the classes and when they are, and so they'll take care of you over there.
Yep, the join code is right on the front page. It's a big smiley Discord, and you can go from there.
Lou Cypher, what is that YouTube link? What is that? We don't
don't
allow
know.
links. We better find out what that is. He didn't actually link it. He just typed it out. It's not a link, but
Right. But
Gotta be
people can
careful.
figure it out.
got to be careful. We can't have links. All right. I think that's it, guys. Yeah? All
Yes,
right.
sir.
So, Tall Joe, Joe Numbers, Stooner, thanks, guys, for still being here. And thanks for your contributions. And we'll see you sooner than later, I'm sure. And
Yeah, absolutely.
for my co-host, Leroon, with your double fingers and your spoons. For my co-host, Leroon, I would like to thank all of you in the chat for being here tonight and watching the show. And I'm glad we were able to give away. We probably gave away about $300 worth of stuff. So there you go. And we'll be back next week with the Women of Gaming. So please be here for that. And until then, good gaming, everyone.